Hello, my name's Annabeth. I am really excited to be on YouTube, and as much as I love posting videos of me singing, I also really want to have a connection with the people who are listening to my music on a more personal level. So I kind of want to make this video explaining my journey with music, how I got to where I am today, and I guess where all I hope to be in the future. Although I love the unknown of the future, it's fun to talk about. So, I grew up in Kentucky. I started doing theater from a very young age, musical theater specifically, and I just started singing when I was really young. I always loved singing. It's something that people were excited to hear and I was excited to do. I always felt very comfortable on stage. I felt comfortable with a microphone in my hand and words that I could sing, usually other people's words. So when I was about 18, I went to college and I started writing music. I had a lot of influences from my older brother, Nathan, who co-writes a lot of my music with me. And art was always very encouraged in my household growing up. We had a huge emphasis on nature and exploring the poetry that's within the natural world, if that makes sense. And that was always a huge thing for us. We would vacation to national parks. We were always in a national park. We were always hiking, always doing something connected with nature. And I think the influence of the divine power of nature really instilled this respect and admiration that I have for the natural world. A lot of my music is written with that in mind, with the metaphors that are within nature, and how powerful that is. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of that. I always say that nature, family, and theater are like the three pillars of my songwriting. I started doing theater from a young age. Musical theater impacted me in a way that I will never truly be able to articulate, but it surrounded me by a whole lot of different people, and a whole lot of different people that I probably wouldn't have been surrounded by if not for theater. And I'm forever grateful for that opportunity and that experience, because I learned empathy. I learned what empathy is, what empathy should be, and as simple as it sounds, I learned that if more people were empathetic, the world would be a better place. And theater gave that to me, and it also just was so fun and showed me how to play, and it just brought art into my life in a completely new way that I will always be so grateful for. I also think something that it would be a crime for me to not talk about is how much I consume film and movies. Movies are extremely important to me. I get so much inspiration from the visual media that I watch, the visual art that I consume. I actually work in film, that's like my job, and that's for a reason. You know, I think they hold so much power, and there's something really, really important about the permanence of film. Music's the same way for me as well. When you're doing live theater, when you're singing live or performing in any capacity, you go on the stage and then you perform and you leave the stage. And that time, that art that you've just produced, you can never get back. Like, ever. Like, not the same way ever again. You can perform the same show every night, but it's gonna be different every time. It's gonna have a different impact every single time. Even if it's just a little bit different, it's still different. With film and with music, that is permanent in a way. And even still, every time you consume it, you can get something new out of it. And there are fantastic directors, film directors, who I look up to so much and who inspire me in my film journey. And I grew up doing musical theater, and I was such a theater kid. Broadway was huge for me. I wanted to be on Broadway for like all of middle school. That was my dream. Theater. I do theater. I act. I'm an actor, and that's what I went to college for, actually. I think with music, it's a lot different because what I'm performing is like mine and my words. And with acting, it's like there's this separation. It's like I'm someone else. I'm not myself. You know, I get to dive headfirst into this situation that's fictional, that has no real consequence because it's not me, it's a character. With music, it's so much more vulnerable for me because I'm like, this isn't my life. Like, I'm writing about my life and my experiences. But it's amazing, and I'm happy to do both, and I want to do both, and both bring me joy and fulfillment, and I thank God every day that I can exist how I do. And yeah, but I wanted to talk about film because every time I watch a movie, I feel like I've learned something new about how to exist in the world or how to interact with people. Some of my favorites movies are La La Land, Damien Chazelle, 2016, 2015, one of those. That's a funny story, actually. I saw that movie in theaters when it first came out. Hated it. I was like probably 11 or 12. Wait, no. What? I can't do math. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Yeah, I was like 12 or 13 when that came out. And I hated it. And then I took a couple years, grew up, rewatched it. I was like, wait, actually, that movie rocks. And it does. That movie is so important. Another one of my favorites is the 2019 Greta Gerwig, Little Women. I don't have to explain. You guys know. You know. That movie, you know. 2013, Under the Skin by Jonathan Glazer is a great one. And I still love, Dead Poet Society was really big for me. A recent one that I loved was Anora. That one was really great. Poor Things I loved. I really like movies that are about like feminism and women going through women things. So much of my writing is about like my female experience, or it's just about my life, but so much of that is like about being a woman, and so much of my muse is like drawn from the movies that I watch. So yeah. Another huge influence on me has always been my family. My immediate family are so amazing. I have 2 brothers who are incredibly important to me. I won't be able to quite explain what my family means to me in a way that will do it justice, but I wouldn't be where I am today without them. These songs wouldn't be what they are without them. And so I always say that nature, theater, and family are my 3 pillars of songwriting. And yeah, and that's when I turned 18, I went to college, I started writing for myself, and my music has changed a lot since then. I have written a lot of things that will never see the light of day because I was very young when I started writing, and some of it is not good. A lot of it's not good. It's not... Okay. Music is subjective, I guess, but it's like things just grow. Even stuff that I've written like a year ago. It's funny, I listen to my songs like when I listened to In Your Hair, a beautiful song that I'm very proud of, very excited about. It's crazy how a piece of art exists in one singular time when I wrote that, because I wrote that song about a year and a half ago. I would write it completely differently now. If I had that thought process and that concept in mind when I was writing now, I would write completely differently. And so, but it's a beautiful song. It's an amazing song, and I'm so excited about it. It's just like, it's just funny how that works out. So, In Your Hair, Just a Fool and Son have all been written in the past 2 years, I believe. In Your Hair and Just a Fool are the most recent. Those were written about a year and a half ago. Sun was written about 2 years ago, I think. Yes, I think that's correct. My brother Nathan specifically has positively influenced my music experience a lot. He's been an amazing encourager, and I felt very empowered by him to embark on this journey, because it's quite scary and quite daunting, but he's been amazing. Nathan co-wrote these songs with me. He's an amazing writer. He understands music theory on a level that I will never. And it's not without trying, guys. I'm just not quite as really know how to explain that. He understands music in a way that's like logical and more mathematical. I don't know if that makes sense. I just kind of go by vibe. I'll be like, it needs to sound like this, and I'll say an adjective that makes no sense, but Nathan will take that adjective and know exactly what to do to manipulate the song to make it sound more like that. I wish I had a specific example. We just work so well together. He's amazing. These songs wouldn't be anywhere without him, and he deserves that credit. And my other brother Langdon is also a beautiful artist. He did all of my album art, which you may know, but I am so thrilled. You guys, it's so crazy. I gave him the songs, like the song files, in a preliminary part, so they weren't like ready yet. That's what I always say, like the song's not ready, but they weren't even nearly ready. And I gave him the songs, and I was like, I want you to create 3 pieces of art based on these songs. This is all I'm giving you. I gave him out like the written out lyrics, but I keep the meanings of my songs very close to my chest, because I want my art to be subjective. I want people to believe what they want to believe about it and take what they want. It can mean something different to everyone, and I think that's great, and so I want that to be what that is. And so I didn't tell him what I had in mind necessarily when I wrote them, but I gave him the songs, and I said, I want you to create art. And he created the most perfect, his brain works in like an amazing way. He can just take things and know exactly how to tangibly make them into something that makes sense. I don't know if what I just said made sense, but his art was beautiful, and I was like, wow, I could have never done this. And so all that to say, my music journey is my music journey, but it's also like, it takes a village, as they say, and it's true. So that's that, and I'm so excited to be here right now. I've had a lot of support along the way, in the writing process and the producing process, and I'm really thrilled to keep going, hopefully, and it just is like a dream come true. I wanted to talk a little bit about my music influences as well, because this is just fun for me to talk about. One of my favorite bands is Greta Van Fleet. They're kind of like a modern, well, I'm sure you all know who Greta Van Fleet is. I don't really need to explain. But I went to a Greta Van Fleet concert in the fall of 2022. It was fantastic. I really fell in love with that band. Even before that concert, I went because I loved them. They're so amazing. I mean, they take the stuff I talk about with nature influencing my lyrics, they take that to a whole nother level. Like, I listen to their music and I'm like, this means so much more than what is there. And the musical elements that they have as well, I think they're amazing. Greta Van Fleet is huge for me. It's funny, in 2024, I made this like pact to myself, because my Spotify Wrapped came out for 2023, and I was like, all of my Spotify Wrapped artists are men. I was listening to mostly men, and I was like, I really want to be listening to more women, because I'm a woman, and so much of my writing is about the female experience and whatnot, because that's what I know and that's what speaks to me and how I want to connect with people. And anyway, so in 2024 I started listening to like Florence and the Machine, Stevie Nicks, Joni Mitchell, Hannah Wicklund, all huge inspirations for me. I'm gonna make a playlist with all of my inspirations and stuff. Not necessarily people I listen to every day, but people who, like, even if I heard the song once, I'm like, wow, that song is gonna stick with me. So all of those women who are just so foundational in my music inspiration, my music writing, I should say. So those are some as well. And I actually got, I'm not much of a vinyl collector, but I'm trying to get more into it. But I actually recently was in Memphis with one of my best friends, and we went to this vinyl store and they had the record Blue by Joni Mitchell, like a brand new album. And I have never found that album anywhere, and I always look for it because that album is so crucial to me as a songwriter. It's one that I don't listen to every day. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, listen to Blue by Joni Mitchell every single day. Like, I don't by any means, but it's a beautiful album, and I listen to it and immediately I'm like, wow, I need to get to writing. And so, but I found it there and I bought it, and it was really expensive, but it was like, it's awesome. So I have that one, and then I have a lot more that are like thrifted, but the ones that I have that are new, I have Blue by Joni Mitchell, and then my brother Langdon, who did the art for my album, he bought me the Greta Van Fleet. My ring just fell off. I have so many. Okay. He bought me, I'm sitting on the floor. That's part of the issue, but I had to have floor time. I feel like floor time is when I can really be like, the way that my personality has come out through the course of this video is kind of crazy. At the beginning, I feel like I was like, ooh, I don't know. The timeline of this was filmed, or this is being filmed like before my songs are released, and I'm really struggling with the marketing side of everything. It's pretty awkward for me, so just to tell you where I'm at currently. But if you're watching this, well, if you're watching this, when you're watching this, my songs will be out, which is so exciting. I hope you love them. But anyway, so yes, so my brother bought me Greta Van Fleet, The Battle at Garden's Gate, which is probably my favorite one of their albums. It's the black one with like the gold, and then Blue by Joni Mitchell is a blue album. But those are two of my favorites among a lot of other albums. I love the Beatles. I love Jimi Hendrix. There's so many more inspirations I feel like I'm forgetting, and then I'm gonna kick myself later for forgetting them. There's so much good music out there. Music's awesome because there's like, you can never not have new music. Like, it's everywhere. So that's cool. But yeah, that's a little bit about my inspirations. And yeah, by the time that you're watching this, my songs will be out on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all other distribution platforms, streaming platforms. I really hope that you love them. I love them. They're so important to me. And now they're yours. So, peace and love. That's all I want is peace and love. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say, but thank you for watching this if you are. And if you're watching this, you have probably been crucial for me and have gotten me to this point. So thank you, and I love you. Have a blessed day, and I hope that the sun is shining and you can go for a walk and get some vitamin C, vitamin D. The vitamin that comes from the sun. So, yes. Thanks for watching.